Alright, so what we're going to start looking at is literal equations today. Now, I'm going to look at two equations side by side. So let's say if we have 2x plus 3 equals 7. Okay. Now, if we were to go through and solve this, the first thing that we would have done was got rid of the plus 3, so we would have minus 3 to both sides. Which would give me 2x equals 4, and then to solve for x we would have divided by 2, and we would have had our x is equal to 2. So that's a normal equation. So now that we're going to start looking at literal equations. Literal equations are pretty much equations just like before, except for instead of a lot of numbers you have variables. So a similar literal equation would have been ax plus b equals c. We're still going to go through and solve for x. I want you to notice some of the similarities between these two as we go through and solve. This equation and this equation are really the same things. We have things that are in the same spot. So in the first equation we already went through and started solving for x. Well, we're going to start solving for x for this equation. So we're still going to have to get rid of the times a, and we're still going to have to get rid of the plus b. And just like any other equation, you're always going to get rid of what was added or subtracted first. So we should have minus b. Those would have canceled, which leave us with ax, just like it did over here. The only difference is now, right here, we have a c minus b, whereas over here we knew that 7 minus 3 was 4. We could put that answer. In literal equations, oftentimes you're not going to know a number per se. You're just going to have to leave it like it is. So leave it as c minus b. Because we don't know what c is, we don't know what b is, so obviously we don't know what c minus b is. So just leave it like that. That's okay in a literal equation. Now to solve for x, I have to get rid of times a, so we're going to divide by a. Those cancel just like they did on the left. And this is what this equation looks like in the end. Instead of being a single number like it was here, little equations are often kind of a jumbled mess of variables. So that is a little equation. So I'm going to do a few examples for you to kind of help you work on your homework today. So I'm going to clear the screen. If you need anything from the screen, go ahead and write it down. Alright, so let's say a equals b times h. Very similar area problem. And let's say we're going to solve this thing for h. Well, my h is over here. So to get h by itself, I have to get rid of times b. Well, to get rid of times b, we just divide by b. Those would cancel, which leaves me with h equals. And now on this side, I notice that it's a divided by b. I don't know what a is, I don't know what b is, so that's my final answer. I just leave it. H is equal to a divided by b. If you need anything from that one, go ahead and get it down. Alright, so let's say m is equal to 3a plus b. And let's say we're going to solve this one for b. This one, in all honesty, in order to solve for b, since b is inside the parentheses, it's actually going to be easier if you get rid of this 3 first. Okay? Even if it's distributive property like that, it's actually going to make your problem harder if you multiply it out. So to get b by itself, I can get rid of that 3 on the outside very easily. That is 3 times a plus b. So to get rid of times 3, we can divide by 3. So this becomes m over 3 is equal to a plus b. I can drop the parentheses now because I don't have any more distributive property. I got rid of the 3. And now to solve for b, I just have to minus a to both sides. So my b value in this case is m over 3 minus a. If you need anything from this one, go ahead and grab it. I'm going to erase it off. Alright, so let's say c is equal to 1/4 times mn. And let's say this time we're going to solve for m. Well, what makes this problem a little bit hard is I have to get rid of that 1/4. Now, technically, since there's nothing on the top of that fraction, it's just a 1, I really only have to get rid of division by 4. So to solve for m, I'm going to get rid of that 1/4 first. I'm going to get rid of that, technically, that division by 4. by multiplying both sides by 4. If I multiply both sides by 4, I end up getting 4c equals, that will cancel with that, division by 4 and times 4. The 1 really doesn't do anything, so let's cancel. So I get mn. Now it's a little easier to solve for m. I just have to divide both sides by n. So I get m is equal to 4c over n. Alright, so these are just a couple examples of solving similar literal equations that you'll probably see on the Math 1 exam.